Yo everybody, it's me, Fitness65. I just wanted to do a quick video about the whole Bryan Danielson getting fired. Now, I was like on Friday, no, not, I think it was Friday, yeah, Friday or Thursday. I'm just laying down, relaxing, getting ready to go to bed or getting ready to just lay down and get ready for the next day because I had to work. And then next thing I know, someone sends me something in my inbox telling me that Bryan Danielson just got released by the WWE. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this can't be possibly true. It's possibly like part of an angle or part of the NXT storyline. And then I'm starting to read more and more on that day, and it just seemed more kayfabe to me. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was one of those people that just thought that it was just a part of the storyline and it was part of a work, and there was no way that it could be real. And then I started getting more details about it yesterday before I headed to work, and then I just found out that the whole thing was true, that Bryan Danielson really got fired from the WWE. Now, on the heels of probably one of the biggest angles to ever happen in the WWE since the invasion angle, until the WWE somehow fucked that up. Well, like, they had they had pretty much the tools for the whole invasion angle, and they had everything ready, and they were gonna go somewhere with it, and it looked like it was it looked like it was gonna do good in the WWE. Somehow the writers ended up fucking that up, and it just ended up dropping dead. Like, mainly because you didn't have guys like Sting, or you didn't have guys like Scott Steiner, or you didn't have guys like Bill Goldberg or any one of those guys to sort of help that angle up. It was sort of just WWE wrestlers against like guys who just got signed by WCW guys who got signed by the WWE, and ECW guys who got signed by the WWE, and somehow you couldn't mess that up. Like, there was no way you could mess that up, but somehow WWE messed that up, and it turned out to be probably one of the it just turned out to be a bad angle, and it led to people just not buying into WCW and ECW being a threat to the WWE. But getting off that subject, like I said, you had the whole invasion, you had the whole NXT angle, like what I was talking about in my last video. You had the guys just tearing up the ring and beating everybody down, and it looked like one of the best things to come in the WWE since, like I said, the invasion angle and everything before that. But now the whole angle is not going to be important, and people are not going to really care about it, mainly because of Daniel Bryanson. And it's a shame, because I wanted to see what they were going to do with Daniel Bryanson, and it was rumored that he was going to get some sort of a big push out of this whole angle, and who knows, he probably would have been a contender for the WWE title, or he would have been a contender for the US title or something like that. But there was big plans for Daniel Bryanson, and now that he's released, supposedly now we won't know, and now that whole NXT angle is sort of dead now, because the only reason people cared about it, well, mainly because it was something that people wanted to see, since, like I said, the invasion angle and anything the WWE's done interesting. It was Daniel Bryanson was one of the reasons why people were starting to care about this NXT angle, and why people were starting to watch a lot of Raw. And of course, you had Wade Barrett, but it was mostly Daniel Bryanson. And now that you don't have him, it's sort of kind of gonna be dead now, and it's gonna, like, the tires are gonna be kind of coming off the wheel. And that's a shame, because I was really looking forward to this angle, and I was really looking forward to where they were going to go with it and what they were going to do with Daniel Bryanson. But now it's not going to be interesting now. Supposedly the whole firing of him had something to do with the tie. Like, during that whole angle, they were showing they had Daniel Bryanson choking Justin Roberts out, so supposedly he got fired over that, which I think is complete BS, because we've seen a lot of violent stuff happening in the WWE, like John Cena choking Randy Orton with handcuffs. I don't know if people remember that, but that happened at Bragging Rights, or it happened at that pay-per-view back in '09. Back in last year, I forgot the name of that pay-per-view, but there was that pay-per-view where John Cena took on Randy Orton for the WWE title, and John Cena was choking Randy Orton out at the end of that matchup with handcuffs. So you're telling me that Justin Roberts getting choked by Daniel Bryan is a bad thing, but John Cena choking Randy Orton out with handcuffs is okay? I mean, they got to get real with that. And then also you saw other stuff like John Cena throwing Batista off of a car and other stuff like that. So you're telling me that Daniel Bryan barely choking Justin Roberts is more violent than all the stuff that we've been seeing these past weeks on Raw? I mean, they just need to get out of here with that. I just think that's total complete BS, and it's one of the stupidest reasons for somebody to be fired. But apparently he got fired, and apparently somebody made a call, like saying that about that whole angle, like they didn't like the angle and they didn't like how Daniel Bryan was choking out Justin Roberts, and they said it was too violent and kids might end up doing that. So whoever said that, like, I guess they told the WWE, and that influenced the WWE or something, and that got the firing of Daniel Bryan. But we don't know who it was. Rumor has it that it's Mattel. Some people said it's Linda McMahon. Some people said it's John Cena, but we don't know who it is. Those are just rumors being thrown out there. But like I said, it's just total complete BS for someone to get fired like that on the heels of one of the greatest angles, like I said, in the WWE. Like, we haven't seen something like this since the whole invasion angle, and like I said, that was was a good angle until it got messed up. But now, like I said, this whole angle sort of has the wheels falling off now because Daniel Bryan ain't involved, and I hope that he comes back. Rumor has it that once this whole thing cools off, the WWE is planning on bringing Daniel Bryan back once whatever cools off. I don't know what they mean by that, because everything has been cooled off to me, but that's what supposedly has been said. Whatever is cooled off, then they're gonna bring him back after his whole thing, his clause or whatever that is, which is a good thing. But still, it's just completely BS to fire somebody over something stupid as choking someone, when we've seen a lot, like what Spinnernet and many other people said, we've seen a lot more violent stuff that's been happening even prior to this, with people getting thrown off cars, people getting hit by sledgehammers and just stuff like that. We've seen a lot more violent stuff more than that. But apparently what happened is just too violent, and I guess they want to get away from the whole Chris Benoit thing, which people pretty much have forgotten about it, and it hasn't really crossed people's minds about the whole Chris Benoit incident where he kind of hung himself. But I guess some people still feel that the whole Chris Benoit thing is sort of still there, and people still haven't forgotten about it, despite the fact that that whole Chris Benoit thing has been over for like years, and people have forgotten and moved on about it. But like I said, people just don't want to get to that point where people have forgotten about that. Like the higher ups, they don't want to believe that people still forgotten about that, but people have, and they just need to realize that. But yeah, that's just pretty much my quick video talking about the whole Daniel Bryan being fired. It's a shame that he got fired, because this whole angle was going good, and there was something going with it, and looked like they were going to do some big things with Daniel Bryan, and there was rumors or talks of a Daniel Bryan John Cena feud, which I was looking forward to. But now we probably won't see that for the next couple weeks or the next couple months until he comes back. But like I said, this is just total BS, and it just goes to show how stupid things like this are, when there's, and like what they were saying with things being too violent and kids looking to mimic things. It just goes to show that it's mostly the parents' faults of kids doing. I mean, it's mostly the parents' faults for not doing anything about their kids doing this, and yeah, it's mostly the parents' fault for not watching their kids and not preventing them from doing stuff like that. But yeah, that's just my video. I rambled on too much. Hope you enjoyed the video. You can give a thumbs up, positive.